Hello everybody, my name is Jada, and today we're going to discuss one of my most favourite movies of all time, Spirited Away. In this video, I will discuss how Spirited Away critiqued late-stage capitalism. Before we dive into the whole topic, a bit of background. Spirited Away is a 2001 fantasy adventure movie directed by Hayao Miyazaki. The plot follows Chihiro, a spoiled girl, as she works to free her parents from a witch's spell that turned them into pigs. It sounds kinda crazy, and the more you try to explain the movie, the crazier it sounds, but it's such a great movie and I would definitely recommend it. So what is late-stage capitalism? Late-stage capitalism is the hustle culture we see today. The idea that if you're not productive all day, you're a failure. Late capitalism seems to be what happens when there is too much capitalism, when capitalism works too well. Instead of providing a fair go for everyone, it's a rat race.
Capitalism is good for two reasons. It's realistic and it's fair. They still want to help people, they just think this is the best way. People are selfishly motivated, so they should be incentivized to work hard for their own personal benefit. We should compete with each other to incentivize improvement and innovation. We should have the freedom to keep everything we earn and use that as we please. These are ideas about how capitalism and consumerism were meant to serve us. We made them for us. The problem is, capitalism doesn't know that. Capitalism is a kill bot, and its only prime directive is create profit, and we trebuchet that society on faith. But the killbot promptly set the world on fire, and now free people have all the money. Turns out the only thing capitalism is good at is generating capital. So what if we generate more capital if we disregard other people's well-being? What if we generate more capital if we scorch our planet and destroy our futures? What if the ultimate way to generate capital is if people who already have a lot of capital consolidate it, hoard it, and exploit workers to continue its growth?
Hard work doesn't get you too far anymore when you're just making the rich even richer. The movie begins with Chihiro and her parents exploring an abandoned theme park where her parents eat an array of delicious-looking foods despite Chihiro's protests. Chihiro's dad reassures her that it's fine. He has cash and credit cards to pay for the food before getting transformed into a literal capitalist pig as punishment for eating a meal meant for the spirits. This subtle critique of capitalism continues for the entirety of the film, so discreet that it completely flew over my head the first time I watched the movie. And did you notice how Yubaba is dressed in European garb, yet all her workers wear traditional Japanese clothing? This could even be a nod to the way the West manufactures in Asia, keeping costs low and people in poverty. Even the glamorous bathhouse is a metaphor for late capitalism. It's beautiful and flashy, hiding the dark and sad underbelly of exploited workers. The hierarchy in the bathhouse is similar to that of capitalism too. Yubaba would be the elite, the top 1%. The guests to the bathhouse would be the bourgeois, the top 10% of the world. And the workers would just be ordinary people like me and you, considered to be 20% of the world. And then Kamaji and his band of soot sprites, in my opinion, represents the exploited workers, or just people living in extreme poverty, which is about 85% of the world. Chihiro is the antithesis of capitalist society seen in this movie. This is made abundantly clear when No Face offers Chihiro gold. Whereas all her fellow employees are greedy for the money and quick to accept, she declines, saying that she doesn't need it. It is thanks to this modest way of thinking that she manages to survive in the bathhouse. This is because Chihiro is unselfishly motivated by her need to rescue her parents. Miyazaki is positioning the audience here to see that capitalism is synonymous with selfishness, and in some ways, I would agree. With all this being said, I would like to add that personally I do believe in capitalism. While I do hate it so much and it makes me so mad, and I hate the corporations who abuse their power, I would have to say though that I think it's the best system we have. In theory, capitalism is a perfect system, but we as humans are not perfect and ruin this. Well, not really us. It's the big corporations that continue their unethical practices to keep families in poverty just so we can buy clothes, shoes, phones for cheap or cheaper. Also, note that this movie was Japan's highest grossing film of all time. It made $280 million worldwide. It kinda cheapens a critique, doesn't it? As the National Student Journal says, ironically, it seems that Spirited Away has become a victim of its own success and has entered capitalist and Western society. We can thank huge corporations for the dystopian world we live in, and we're pretty powerless against them. To be honest, I can't even finish this video and say anything or give a call for action other than just support small businesses, I guess. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video until the end. If you want to see more like this from me, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.